I didn't think I looked Korean, but you know.
No, Steve is around here though. I feel embarrassed as shit now. All right. Saquon Jones with the Boxing Voice. We were with the great Doug Fischer. I remember you back when you were doing like blogs back in the day.
Back when it was fun.
Yeah. So your whole career is about, critiquing the fighter. I want to walk through your process of becoming the MC for the last Ring magazine event. How do you think you did? Why do you think you got so much sort of visceral response? Some where do you think you went wrong at?
I heard nice things. Okay. But then I heard people.
I mean, they were roasting you though, Doug. Yeah, they were roasting.
Really?
Yeah, they were roasting.
You tell me.
I asked you when I said,
if you know that they're roasting me, then you tell me what they were saying.
I asked you before we started if I could ask you some hard-hitting questions.
No, please.
So I figured if you're a journalist, throughout over 20 years,
you lay it out.
Yeah, okay.
I had no idea that I would be hosting. I'm not a host.
Okay, all right. Where could you have gone differently though?
What?
Before I give you,
I wouldn't
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't change because I'm not a game show host.
Okay.
I ain't a show monkey.
Okay.
I'm not here to promote.
Okay.
I'm an editor. I'm here to ask like real questions.
Okay.
I want the fighters to divulge things that people learn from.
All right.
And I wanted equal time for everybody. So people got mad at me for, I guess, cutting off Teofimo.
Yeah.
They're like, no, he's the takeover. Let him take over. I'm like,
okay.
If I let him take over, Barboza won't get any words in other than like cursing, right?
Okay.
Just being mad.
All right.
You know what I mean?
What about the
Jose,
suit? What about the suit? Talking about your suit, like things like that. Do you believe that you think there was some things that you could have done differently as an MC? Nothing.
I wouldn't change. I'm me.
Do you think if a boxer said what you're saying right now?
What?
Like I wouldn't change a thing. Let's say Hearns said I wouldn't change a thing. You would destroy him, like Hearns against Hagler. You would have destroyed him.
I would respect his opinion.
No, you would.
I mean, I could have my opinion thinking like, no, you got to work on things.
Okay.
But, I mean, for me, I'm like, I don't see that. See, if you're talking about Thomas Hearns, and his career as a boxer, right?
I'm talking about say Hagler versus Hearns.
Right.
Right. If he told the crowd there was nothing I could have done differently,
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
it's one of the greatest fights of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost it, but he lost it to a fellow legend.
All right.
He lost it to the undisputed middleweight champion.
All right.
At the time, he was now considered, if not the greatest middleweight of all time, top 5.
Yeah.
So you didn't win.
All right.
It was a great fight that 40 years later, we still celebrate.
No, but he was more of an analogy for.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. If I was talking to Tommy Hearns about how could you do better, I'm talking about.
And he said to you, I wouldn't change.
What he does.
Okay.
For me,
yeah.
That's not what I do.
Okay.
I don't MC events or host press conferences.
So what's your thing? So if
I got to get better. Now if you say like, that last magazine saw some typos, man, and that story selection, you need more history, or you need more current news. That kind of criticism, I'm like, I'm all ears. I'm like, you know what? You're right. We're looking too much in the past. We need to look at the present or the future. Or if you say there's not enough past, I'm like, you're right. I would. I'd be like, we're the Ring, so we should. We've been around more than 100 years. We should have that, or whatever. Should
you have used some of that historical knowledge that you have during the press conference to sort of bring out? Because I mean, I've seen you throughout the years. You're very personable.
Yeah.
That didn't show that night. That day.
Yeah. So let me just give you some context. Is everything.
Okay.
And people don't have the patience to hear context.
Of course.
They're probably tuning out right now.
Why would they? I think
what I'm saying is, I didn't know I was going to do that until literally like 2 hours before I got on stage.
Okay.
I talked about the suit because they said, hey, you're hosting, right? I'm like, am I? And they said, yeah, you are. You brought a suit. And I said, no, I didn't bring a suit.
Okay.
So they said, you got to go get a suit. So that was part of the story. They got me a suit.
So they asked you like an hour before? Like an hour before the thing?
2 hours before.
2 hours.
Literally. I was in an Uber with 3 other people, smashing an Uber, driving to, where did they have it? The Palladium?
Yeah, there's a place. Yep.
Somewhere. Okay. It was somewhere like Times Square.
Correct.
Yeah. We're driving there, and an executive WhatsApps me the run of show, like a document showing this is how it goes.
Okay.
You introduce the fighters, you introduce yourself, you have 5 minutes to say something about the event, and then you're going to have 30 minutes to talk to all of the fighters.
But Doug, I've followed you seriously since the 90s.
Okay.
right?
You're old.
I am old. I'm almost 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over 50.
All right. So you look great.
So do you.
Thank you. You would have roasted you.
What was that?
You would have roasted you.
I would have.
Yeah, you would have.
When do you see me roasting hosts?
No, not host, but you know what I mean? But this is the time where the boxers got a chance to, or the audience gets a chance to turn the tables on you.
Equal time.
Yeah.
I had half an hour, and I was trying to be mindful of time because I've been told, Doug, when you get up there, sometimes you do talk about history and you stay there too long.
Okay.
So that was criticism that I got from the awards, not from the awards ceremony, but from the relaunch.
Okay.
There was a big relaunch party in Riyadh in December.
Are you going to go to Turkey?
5 minutes, and I took like 15 minutes. And they're like, we were about ready to cut your mic.
They don't play the music.
Because I was talking about history.
Yeah.
You know.
Would you? Are you going to go to Turkey to get a do-over one day?
A do-over.
Yeah, like to you know.
Buy more clothes.
Yeah. No, well, to get to redeem yourself. This is to redeem yourself. I think that this was like a Diego Corrales versus Mayweather for you almost.
Right. Was that bad?
I mean,
I had nothing.
You kept coming back though. You kept coming back. Nobody's judging your tenacity.
Actually,
you know what I mean.
I like that.
Nobody's judging.
I miss Diego.
Nobody's judging your tenacity, your intellect, none of that. Diego was an amazing fighter.
Here's the thing. I have no desire to do that.
But you gotta come back and redeem yourself.
If His Excellency asked me to do it,
okay.
I'm gonna do it.
You're not gonna send them a secret email?
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna come out like. I'm not gonna try to get the fighters to fight each other if it's not organic. If the fighters don't truly hate each other, like an Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera, I'm not gonna try to.
I think they hated each other. You can't have all those fights. Barboza
is pissed at Teofimo. I don't think Teofimo gives a shit. Teofimo's just being himself.
Speaking of that,
I wouldn't try to.
Excuse me, Helen.
I'm not like a promoter trying to get them to fight. I'm not trying to do that.
Wait, let me just go to
I'm representing the magazine.
Okay.
And that's an institution. I don't want to get wild and crazy.
Okay.
You see Rick Reno around?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be with the Versace and the shades and
Rick looked like he called some hits
Rick's gonna be Rick.
on some people.
And Rick might take it to another level.
Yeah.
When he's doing that, he's representing the ring. So now I'm like, you know what? Whenever I'm up there, I gotta be more sophisticated.
All right, so let's
I'm
take.
not gonna apologize for that.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, I appreciate you being lighthearted about this.
I turned 55 this month.
Oh, congrats, man.
I don't like it. I don't like to see people my age act like they're 30 years younger.
True.
And there's pressure with social media. I see people older than me on TikTok doing these dances and
that is annoying.
Silly. I see
That's
people
annoying.
doing things that they wouldn't normally do because of social media. I don't want to succumb to that. I want to mature.
All right, well let's take it away from it, right? And speaking of Barboza, your colleague Mike Carpenter asked Barboza how it felt to get slapped in the face in front of Barboza's family. Can you give a little feedback? How do you feel about that question? Because the reason why Teofimo didn't go up to
I don't know if I would have asked it because it's a question where you're trying to elicit a response.
Yeah.
Emotional. You're trying to get there. It's not. I don't think that's your job.
Okay.
Like as the person who I'm not criticizing Mike. I'm saying I wouldn't have asked that question. I don't blame Mike for asking that question because the slap happened in a press conference. It's a matter of public record.
Yeah.
And who knows? By now it's got like a million views.
Yeah. I told Mike. I said
everybody's platforms. You know what I mean? Everybody that posted that up. If you count it all up, all the views, maybe it's 1 million views.
Yeah, probably more than that.
And
impressions.
I think it sort of jump-started the promotion and carried it right into this week.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's fair game to ask it. Would I have asked that question? No.
And
I would have made it more about Arnold.
Okay.
You know?
Because I spoke to Mike yesterday, and I said, nobody's expecting to get smacked in the face at a face-off. Like, it's a very sacred, ceremonial thing. It's like in the medieval times where your warriors met in the middle of the field, your kings met in the middle of the field.
I think it should be gentlemanly, but it does happen.
Okay.
And the guys take swings at each other.
Okay.
Canelo and Caleb Plant.
Yeah. Canelo dipped it though.
No, what I'm saying is it gets worse than a slap sometimes.
All right.
I mean, these guys are fighters. It gets emotional. Sometimes it is personal.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get back to it, Doug. I really appreciate this portion of lightheartedness. I hope that's, most people would have probably got pissed at the questioning, and I appreciate it that you stood tall. And thanks so much, Doug. Saquon Jones with the Boxing Voice. Thank you. Have a good day, man.
Pleasure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Take it easy.
All right.
YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.